income. Good morning. Your content should be generating you income. If it's not, we have a serious problem that we have to fix today, not tomorrow. You should be making money while you're on these apps. Listen, let me tell you the truth. It is diabolical how you spend so much time on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of these apps, and you're not even getting paid to be here. Unacceptable. If you are not making money, building your business, creating your content, generating sales while you are on these apps, we have a serious problem that we have to fix today, not tomorrow. It's got to get fixed today, okay? I also want you ladies to understand this. You should be making money while you're asleep, okay? The goal here is to build wealth, but we cannot do that if the only time we're generating income is if we're actively working for it. Thank you, Velvet. What I want for you is a life where you're making money even when you're on vacation with your family. You're generating income even when you're doing self-care, when you're asleep, right? If the only time you're making income is if you're actively working for it, then we have a serious problem that we have to fix today, not tomorrow. It's got to get fixed today, okay? You ladies only need one digital product in your store. You only need one. See, a lot of people get hung up because they think they need about 50 products in their store. They need ebook after ebook. Absolutely not. You only need one. And that one product that you choose to create and sell will literally change your entire life. How do I know that? Because my digital product business changed mine. You guys, when I first started 6 years ago, full time, okay, changed my entire life. Made more money than I ever could have imagined from my cell phone, a laptop, and some Wi-Fi. All because I took something that I knew how to do and I sold it over and over and over again, okay? I lost 100 pounds, okay? And I sold an ebook teaching other people how to lose weight too. So whatever it is you want to sell, literally whatever it is, you can sell it, okay? But you wanna know why you're not? You wanna know the truth? I'm gonna tell you the truth. The real reason why you're not building your business, the reason why you're not generating your sales is because you live in fear. You live in fear. On my live, fear stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what you've been doing for a very, very, very long time. You have been running away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea for years because you're so fearful of looking stupid. Good morning. You're so fearful of failing. You're so fearful of people talking about you. And all of this fear that you have in your head is literally stealing your dream life from you. Stealing it. And you let it. Because let's be clear, you already know exactly what side of town you want to live on. You have prayed about it and prayed about it. You've already done the vision board. You know exactly what kind of vacations you want to take your family on. You know exactly how much money you want in your savings account. You know exactly how much freedom you want for your life. You know all of the things. But every single day that you do not live like that is another day that you could have, but you made the choice to let fear steal it from you. We gotta let go of this fear, ladies, because this fear is literally holding us back. Good morning. Now, what I wanna know is this. Who on this live is sick and tired of being sick and tired? If that is you, go ahead and put me in the chat. I also want to know who on this live is fed up with always giving up on themselves, starting and stopping, resetting week after week, year after year, not actually getting the goals done. If that is you, go ahead and put me in the chat. And I also want to know who on this live has no clue as to what a digital product is. Good morning. If you have no idea, go ahead and put me in the chat because I'm going to teach you. For those of you guys who have never, ever, ever seen my face before, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. This morning on this beautiful Wednesday, we are going to be building our online business from scratch, okay? I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to create your ebook, and then I'm going to teach you exactly how to sell it. But not only are we going to build our online business, good morning, we are also going to build ourselves. Contrary to popular belief, you are getting in your own way. It is you holding you back. You are self-sabotaging yourself. It is your lack of discipline. It is your lack of consistency. It is your lack of follow through. It is your lack of confidence. And until we fix who you are, the things you have going on in this pretty head of yours, you won't sell anything. You won't post anything. Let's just be real. You are holding yourself back. So we have to build ourselves so we can actually become the version of us that actually gets it done. Okay? I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of information this morning. It'd be in your best interest to write it down. If I know anything about you, you are human, which means you're going to forget. Because life's and stresses, right? But if you take notes, anything that I do say that you happen to forget, you can still refer back to those notes and get it done, okay? The key word of this live is going to be execution. You're going to hear me say this word 10 million times because psychology has already proven the more you hear something, the more it sticks. And I need it to stick. Not only are you going to write it down, not only are we going to talk about, but you're going to actually do it. Ladies, you have to execute. And a lot of you are not doing that. You posted once 6 weeks ago, haven't posted since. Just like you execute at that job to get that paycheck consistently, you are going to have to execute the business. You're going to have to execute the plan in order to get the results that you want. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to tell you no tales. You got to execute, okay? If I say anything this morning that resonates with your spirit and vibrates with your soul, make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. TikTok, go ahead and double tap the screen. YouTube, thumbs up the live. The more we interact with these lives, ladies, the more these lives will get pushed to more people. And believe it or not, there are a lot of women who have no clue that they're the ones holding themselves back. They have no idea. They think it's everybody else. They think it's the algorithm, but they have yet to look within. They haven't realized that they're lacking confidence, and that's why they care so much about what people think about what they're going to post. They haven't realized that they don't prioritize themselves in their own life, which is why they don't have time. So just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others, okay? Go ahead and start double tapping the screen. If you are ready, you have your pen and paper in hand, go ahead and put ready in the chat, because if you are ready to learn, I am ready to teach. I need at least one person to put ready in the chat. Let me know that I'm not speaking to myself this morning, and start double tapping the screen. YouTube, I see 10 people on this live and only 3 thumbs up. The math ain't math, and let me know that you are here and that you are present. Good morning, good morning. Let's go, let's go. Put a ready in the chat. Come on, ladies, don't do this. It's Wednesday morning. Let me know that you are here and that you are present. TikTok #1, I see you. Good morning, good morning. Also, make sure y'all follow me so you do not lose me, because they do steal my videos. And then they make fake accounts and then they turn around and message you. So do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled on these TikTok streets, y'all, because they're coming for you. Yes, they is. Good morning, good morning. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're not ready, you're just not ready. All right, so what is a digital product and how will we build the business? Let's talk. A digital product is something you do not have physical possession of. So think of a movie on Netflix, think of a song on your Apple Music or Spotify. You don't physically have it in your possession, right? It's all out somewhere in the cloud. Okay. You are going to create something to sell. And it can be anything. Please don't let that go over your head. There's something that you already know how to do. There is something that you're really, really, really good at. And whatever that thing is, that's what I want you to sell, okay? See, a lot of you guys are struggling to make sales in your business because you have purchased an e-course from someone because they told you that you could resell it. They promised you $10 million in 2 hours and you bought in. Thank you, Snapper, but you haven't made any sales yet because let's just be real, that's not really something that you care about. You don't care. You don't care about nothing in that course. You only bought it because you were sold a dream. But when you sell something that you actually know about, something that you actually have a passion for, it is so easy to sell it. I cannot make this up. So please think long and hard about what it is that you're good at. I told you guys, I lost 100 pounds. So I sold an ebook teaching other people how to lose weight. Maybe you're a really good mother. You could teach other women how to be good parents, okay? And you don't have to do an ebook. You could do an e-course. You could do workbooks and journals. You could do affirmation guides. You could do private communities. I've made hundreds of thousands on private communities alone. So whatever it is that you want to sell, That's what you need to sell, okay? Now, I'm gonna give y'all 2 apps, and these apps will change your entire life if you use them. So not only are you gonna download it, you're gonna open it up, and you're gonna use it, okay? If you're ready for app number 1, good morning, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning, my name is Coach Jazz. While I wait for at least 1 person on this live to put a 1 in the chat, I see 20 people on TikTok, number 1. I see 15 people on YouTube, and I see 10 people on TikTok, number 2. I just need 1 person to put 1 in the chat. Let me know I'm talking to 1 person who actually cares. Now, I do want to ask you, be honest. When was the last time you prioritized yourself in your own life? When was the last time you said, no matter what's going on today, I am going to set aside 30 minutes and I'm going to work on something for me? Some of y'all don't even know. Some of y'all are like, Jazz, girl, I'll never do that. That's the problem. That's the problem. You never put yourself first in your own life. You're always doing for others, but you never do for yourself. And then you wonder why things aren't getting done. Well, how can they get done if you don't even set aside 30 minutes to work on something for you? And don't you dare tell me that you don't have time. That is a bold-faced lie. I'm gonna say that again. That I don't have time is a bold-faced lie. And you have convinced yourself that that's true. That's not true. Because if you have time to scroll on social media, which a lot of you do all day long, you have time to work on your business and whatever other goals you have for your life. If you have time to be caught up on your favorite TV shows, then you have more than enough time to work on your business. You are going to have to start making yourself a priority in your own life, because if you do not, you can keep doing what you've been doing and getting the results that you've been getting. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. But until you do different, nothing is going to change. Put yourself first and stop feeling bad about it. Okay? All right. App number 1 is Canva, C-A-N-V-A. Good morning, good morning. App number 1 is Canva. And you will be using Canva for everything, okay? Everything. So maybe you do want to create content. YouTube, thumbs up the live. Let's go. I see 30 people on here and only 3 thumbs up. Don't do me like that on this beautiful Wednesday. Let's go. It takes 2 seconds to hit the thumbs up button. The more we interact with these lives, YouTube, the more TikTok and YouTube will push it out to more people, okay? You will be using Canva for everything. So maybe you do want to create content. Great. Canva has thousands of Instagram templates on there, TikTok reel templates on there, everything you need. Maybe you do want to start that YouTube channel that I tell you every single morning to start. Canva has thousands of YouTube thumbnails for you to use. And the thumbnails, you guys, are just those pictures that you see before you actually click on the video. This is what draws people's attention to your YouTube video in the first place. All of the creators, including myself, are getting our thumbnails off of Canva, okay? And maybe you do want to sell an ebook, which is what I'm going to teach you guys how to do this morning, but you want it to be all professional and branded. Great. Canva has thousands of ebook templates on there for you, okay? So literally anything that you need, I promise you, you can find it on Canva, okay? You can find it on Canva. Now, before we get into app number 2, I do want to speak to the woman on this live who's still holding on to fear. She knows who she is. She is holding on to fear for dear life, and she's saying things to herself like, Jazz, I would love to start an online business, but I'm just not tech savvy. What if it's too late for me? What if I'm too old for this? Okay, well, before you run away like you always do, listen to me. The first thing I want you to understand is you woke up this morning, okay? That's a blessing. Every single day that you were blessed with another day means that you were blessed with another opportunity to work on your goals. So use it until you are 6 feet under. It is not too late. Number 2, You are very tech savvy, okay? Because let's just be real. You're on social media all day long. You are liking, commenting, sharing, and archiving. That takes tech savviness. So, you will use the same tech savviness that you already have and build your online business. And number 3, for my ladies on here who think they are too old, what did we just say? We just said that we were going to sell our knowledge, okay? So if you are older, that means you have a lot of knowledge, which means you have a lot of things that you could be selling. So get to selling, okay? All right. If you're ready for app number 2, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. And for those of you guys who are just tuning in, good morning, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. The key word of this live, ladies, is going to be execution. So not only are you going to take your notes, you're going to actually do the things that we talk about. You guys have got to get off social media. That's number 1. That's number 1. You spend so much time scrolling and living vicariously through others, failing to realize that whatever life you want, you could literally create for yourself if you just turn the apps off. I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. Good morning. So, get off of the apps and actually execute the things that you've already been taught. Okay? If you're ready for app number 2, go ahead and put a 2 in the chat. Make sure you guys are double tapping the screen, like, comment, and share the live. The more we interact with these lives, the more TikTok and YouTube will push these lives out to more people. And believe it or not, there are a lot of women who want to start their online business. They want to reach their goals too. So just like this live found you, let's allow it to find others. Thank you through her eyes. App number 2, ChatGPT. ChatGPT. You will be using chat for everything, okay? So maybe you do want to create content, but you're just not too sure what kind of videos to make. Fine, ChatGPT will tell you. Maybe you do want to start your YouTube channel, but you're just a little camera shy and you're not too sure what to say in the videos. Fine, ChatGPT will script the entire video for you. Now all you have to do is say the words. And maybe you do want to create an ebook, which is what I'm going to teach you guys how to do this morning, but you're just not too sure what to put in it. Fine. What if I told you ChatGPT will write the entire ebook for you from beginning to end in under 30 seconds? Ladies, I can't make this up. It has never been easier than today to start your online business. But time and time again, you keep telling yourself what you can't do, what you're not good enough for, what's not going to work, and that you don't have time. It's you getting in your own way, okay? So I gave you Canva, I gave you chat, now we're going to put it together and write it. If you're ready for prompt number 1, go ahead and put ready in the chat. If you're not taking notes, tisk, 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 and shame on you. Because if I know anything about you, you are human. Which means you are bound to forget. Because life, and stress stresses, right? But if you write it down, anything that I do say that you happen to forget, you can refer back to your notes and get it done, okay? Yes, Gemini is great too. Are you ready? Good morning, good morning. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, TikTok. Let's go, let's go. I need at least one person to put ready in the chat. I see 10 people on YouTube. I see 5 people on TikTok number 2, and I see 10 people on TikTok number 1. Let me know that you are here and that you are present. Good morning, good morning. And also, I'm teaching you guys how to build your online business from scratch, and most importantly, how to build yourself, okay? Thank you, Snapper. Very good. So you're going to open up ChatGPT. In the search, you're going to type this in. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. Give me 10 digital product ideas I can sell that solves a problem. If you've got that, put got that in the chat. If you need me to repeat it, this is the opportunity to ask. Remember, closed mouths do not get fed. How can we execute if you don't even remember what you're supposed to be doing? Thank you, Snapper. And I do want to ask you, while I wait for at least one person to put got that in the chat, when was the last time you told yourself how amazing you are? When was the last time you told yourself how smart you were? Some of y'all don't even know because you don't speak to yourself like that. And that's a problem. Your internal world is a reflection of your external, okay? So when you don't speak to yourself positively and consistently remind yourself of how amazing you really are, you begin to not feel that way about yourself. See, confidence is who you think you are, not what someone told you, but who you think you are. And the problem is, a lot of you guys don't think highly of yourselves because you're not consistently telling yourself your affirmations, how amazing you are, how smart you are. And over time, that erodes at your confidence. Also, a lot of you guys never, ever, ever keep the promises that you make to yourself. That's a problem. If you told yourself you were going to start a business, then start it. If you told yourself that you were going to create content, then create it. If you told yourself that you were going to lose weight, then lose it. Every single time that you break a promise to yourself, you are slowly eroding at your confidence to where you no longer have any, which is why you don't feel highly of yourself, which is why you care too much about what other people think of you, which is why you don't think you can do this. You have got to start keeping the promises that you make to yourself. It's a non-negotiable. It's a non-negotiable, okay? So nobody's got that. Not one person's got that. Make it make sense? Make it make sense. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. We are building our online business. If you don't got it, you just don't got it. You're gonna hit enter. Now, before we move forward, write this word down. This says consistent. Write it down. I want you to underline it, and then I want you to circle it 50,000 times, because starting this morning, you and I are going to lock in on the true definition of the word consistent. Because believe it or not, a lot of y'all are very confused. So let me go ahead and unconfuse you. See, some of y'all think consistent means once in a while. A lot of y'all think consistent means when you feel like it. If I have time. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. Consistent means more often than not. So, if there are 7 days in a week, consistent means working on the business, working on the content, the goals, whatever it is, 4 out of the 7 days a week. Ladies, we have got to be consistent. I don't know what world you live in where you think that you don't have to do anything and all of the money is just gonna sprinkle into your bank account. I don't know who told you that lie, but I'm here to tell you the truth. Has it happened? No, because it's not going to. You are going to have to be consistent if you want to reach your goals. So whether you want to spend 20 minutes 4 days a week or 2 hours 4 days a week, I don't care. But you have to be consistent. Just like you consistently go to the job to consistently get your paycheck, you are going to have to consistently show up for the business. Now, let's make consistency easy because life is hard enough, right? Life is life and stress is stressing and then bills is piling up. Good morning. So let's make consistency easy so we can actually be consistent, okay? I want you to go through that list that ChatGPT gave you and only pick ideas that you truly have a passion for. I want you to ask yourself, self, what is something that I would absolutely love to talk about all day, every day if I could get paid to do it? And whatever that thing is, that's what I need you to do. See, a lot of times the reason why we struggle with depression, and I used to struggle with this too, is because within our 24 hours of our day, there was nothing scheduled in for us, something that makes us happy. Your day begins to feel like it's on repeat. Get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, cry, take care of your family, go to bed, repeat. Nowhere in that day did you do anything that you look forward to. That's the problem. But when you choose things to do that you actually look forward to, now you're excited for your day. Now you have this new happy energy that's radiating through you because you truly love your day and the things that you've scheduled into your day. That's what I want for you, okay? So please go down the list and only choose ideas that you truly have a passion for, okay? And it will be so much easier to be consistent because now it's actually something you want to do. It doesn't feel like work. And when things don't feel like work, you're more likely to get it done, okay? I live a very healthy lifestyle. For any of you guys who make sure you eat healthy foods and exercise consistently, let me ask you, isn't it so much easier to consistently stay active when you do activities that you truly love to do? I love walking, I love weightlifting. So I make sure that I do those things so that I enjoy doing it because that's what I enjoy doing. So I make sure I always do those things and make sure it's consistent, okay? I don't like watermelon. I think it's disgusting. I don't know how y'all eat watermelon. It stinks and it's nasty. Do you know how hard it would be for me to consistently eat my fruits if I'm forcing myself to eat watermelon? I'm not gonna do it because it's nasty. But I love blueberries, I love bananas. So I make sure I eat those fruits because I enjoy them. So it's easy for me to consistently eat it, okay? Same thing with your business. Now, before we get into prompt number 2, I do wanna say this to you. If you don't remember anything else I say this morning, you better remember this. Write this down. Money flows where energy goes. Money flows where energy goes. Money flows where energy goes. Don't you ever forget that. If you're anything like who I used to be, you are giving all of your energy to any and everybody. And the crazy thing is, these people that you're giving your energy to, they don't reciprocate it back to you. You are giving all of your energy to your friends. You're giving all of your energy to your husband, your boyfriend, your sneaky link. You are giving all of your energy to your coworkers and your job. You are giving all of your energy to the news and celebrity gossip. And by the time you sit down to work on something for yourself, you can't because you don't have any energy left because you gave it all away. And that is why now you feel drained, you feel exhausted, you feel resentment, you feel frustrated, you feel anxious. Because time and time again, you keep giving all of your energy away. Starting today, you are going to take back control of your energy. And you are going to start telling people no. And no is a complete sentence. It doesn't need to be explained. The answer is no. It does not make you a bad wife because you want to work on a business. It does not make you a bad mother because you want to do something for yourself for once. It does not make you a bad friend because you don't want to sit there and listen to her problems. It makes you human. You matter too. Your happiness is important too. So, you are going to start telling people no. No. I cannot loan you any money. That is money that I could be using for my business. No. I cannot give you rides. That is time I could be using for my business. No. I cannot sit here and listen to you talk about your problems. I have to fix my own. The answer is no. Okay? And I just want to be clear. Most of these people that we're talking about, who you are giving all of your energy to, these are grown, able-bodied adults who can do for themselves. And they are not reciprocating the energy back to you. Because if they were, you wouldn't feel drained. If they were, you wouldn't feel frustrated. If they were, you wouldn't feel resentful. But they aren't. So that is indication enough that you are doing all of the giving and they are doing all of the taking. And we're going to put a stop to that right now. Because when you start telling people no, you start saying yes to you. Now you have the energy to work on your business. Now you have the energy to show up for yourself because you started putting yourself first in your own life. Stop trying to pour from empty cups. Your cup has been empty for years. It has been empty. You cannot effectively pour into others unless you pour into yourself first. Your cup needs to be an overflow, but it can't be an overflow if you don't do for you. So the answer is no. Money flows where energy goes. When you start putting energy back to you, the money flows right on behind it. Okay? All right. That's it. Once you have chosen which digital product you want to go with, you will then type this into ChatGPT. This is prompt number 2. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. Write me an ebook that helps people solve this problem. If you've got that, put got that in the chat. If you need for me to repeat it, this is the opportunity to ask. Remember, closed mouths do not get fed. Let me know that you are here and present. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. I am teaching you guys how to create your online business, or how to build your online business rather. But most importantly, I'm teaching you how to build yourself. Ladies, you are getting in your own way time and time again. Stop resetting. You don't need a reset. You just need to execute. Okay? Thank you, Snapper. You're going to hit enter. This is what I mean by it has never been easier than today to start your online business from scratch, because ChatGPT literally just wrote this ebook for you. It wrote it for you. Now all you have to do is copy and paste. Literally, that's it. You will copy what ChatGPT gave you and you will paste it into your Canva template. Okay, so open up the Canva app. In the search bar, type in ebooks, hit enter. It's going to generate thousands of ebook templates for you. Just pick your most favorite one. They're all 1000% customizable. Okay, you will copy and paste. Literally. Please don't overthink. Now, for my ladies who do love to overthink, I don't know how you function. You overthink from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, and it's driving you crazy. Stop doing that, because it's not getting you anywhere. I want you to write this down. This says KISS, okay? K-I-S-S. This is an acronym that stands for Keep It Simple, Silly. Good morning. Keep it simple, silly. Just keep it simple, okay? Stop overthinking. The only thing I need you to do is make sure that your ebook is clean, simple, and legible. That is it. Clean, simple, legible. That's it, okay? Once you are done copying and pasting, and you love the way your ebook looks, you will download it as a PDF file. Download it as a PDF, okay? Good morning. And then you will upload the file to your hosting site. Write these down, please. I hope y'all taking notes. Stan Store. Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, and Shopify. Stand Store, Etsy, Beacons, Gumroad, Shopify. If you've got all of this, got that in the chat. These are some of the most popular hosting sites. Yes, there are plenty more. These are some of the most popular ones. And your product only needs to be on one of these, not all 5. She said, thank you. I've been very ruminating about if I should use AI for my book because I'm old-fashioned. Yes, you should. And it's crazy. Listen to me, you guys. I'm actually glad you brought that up through her eyes. Listen to me. AI is here to stay. AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. And it will only be getting better as time goes by. It is in your best interest to start getting acclimated with AI now. Whatever you're already good at, AI will make it 30 times better. And that is the truth. So stop trying to resist it. It's time to get on the program. Okay? It is time to get on the program. Yes, through her eyes. Use AI. Use AI. Let AI help you make it better. Okay? You can always get better. Y'all got all of this? These are some of the most popular hosting sites. You only need to use one of these. While I wait for at least one person. I see 25 people on TikTok or on YouTube. Thumbs up the live, please and thank you. The more we interact with these lives, the more YouTube will push this live out to more people. While I wait for at least one person to put got that, let me tell you something that I have noticed about people. And I used to be the exact same way. We love our comfort zone. We love it. I'm actually going to bring this up because we're talking about AI. We love our comfort zone. And that comfort zone is just your daily routines and habits. It's just what you do on a regular basis, time and time again. The content that you watch, the distractions that you have, the people that you hang out with, the things you have going on in this pretty head of yours. That's all your comfort zone is, just your daily routines and habits, okay? It's what you're used to. It's most familiar. And we love our comfort zone. We rarely ever want to leave it. But notice how that comfort zone of ours isn't getting us the results that we want. You notice that? That comfort zone of ours is not getting us the results that we want. No. And you know what's crazy? We have become so accustomed to our comfort zone. We have become comfortable with being stressed. You notice that? We have become comfortable with being depressed. We have become comfortable with being frustrated. We have become comfortable with being insecure. Let me tell you this. The results that you want, the things that you want to accomplish for your life, aren't hanging out in that comfort zone. You've been in that comfort zone for years. Have you gotten the results you've wanted yet? No. The results that you want are not in that comfort zone. The money that you want, the freedom that you want, the peace that you want, the happiness that you want, it is not in that comfort zone. You have been looking for it and you haven't found it because it's not there. You are going to have to take a half an inch out of that comfort zone and do something a little bit different if you want to get the results that you want. If you truly want to build the business that you have been begging God to build for you for years, you're going to have to take a step out. If you want to have the peace where you're not stressing about bills, robbing Patrice to pay Paul, you're going to have to take a step out. If you want to even begin to have confidence and think highly of yourself and know that you can achieve anything you put your mind to, you are going to have to take a step out. The results that you want are not in that comfort zone. And just so you know, stress is a silent killer. Look it up. I don't have to convince you. Look it up. A lot of you have been stressed for years. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is slowly killing you. Get out of that comfort zone and get off these damn apps. I cannot stress this enough. The life that you want to live is not on social media. It's not on social media. Lock in. Okay? All right. Now, back to our hosting sites. I use Stan Store. I love Stan. Stan is great, but Stan Store is very expensive. Stan Store is $99 a month. That is very, very, very high if your business is not making that yet, okay? If you're brand new to all of this, Stan Store is not for you, so go ahead and cross that on out. Instead, I want you to use Gumroad. Gumroad. Because Gumroad only charges you a percentage when you make a sale. They charge you 10% for every sale. So until you make money, you don't have to spend it. That is a great place to start, okay? Now, what I know about you is this. You're gonna make money because you are asking questions, you're taking your notes, and most importantly, you promised you were going to execute, okay? So when you do start generating income, then transfer everything over to Stan Store later, because Stan Store has a lot of features that will help you expand your business, like Afterpay and Klarna. Ladies, let me tell you what's going on in the world of finance today in case you did not know. Good morning. Buy now, pay later is taking over. It is taking over, okay? Afterpay, Klarna, Sezzle, QuadPay, Zip, Affirm. There's so many out there, okay? People love buy now, pay later. They're using it more than they're using credit cards. And no, it is not just poor people, so go ahead and get that out your head, because six-figure earners are using it too. Why do you think they put it on DoorDash? Because people are using it. So if you have a buy now, pay later option on your site, I promise you, you will make more. But for now, you will start with what you have. Just start with what you have. You will start on Gumroad, you will start building your business, and then you will transfer everything over to Stan Store later. Okay? Now, what we just did was we just made the ebook. That's what we did. We took Canva, we took ChatGPT, we put it together, and we made it. All right? Now we got to sell it. And I'm going to teach you how to sell. But I got to be honest with you. Sales is 80% of the business. 80. That is more than half. Okay? So we've got to get sales right, or there will not be a business. Okay? But before we get into sales, I do need to make something crystal clear to you. That process of copying and pasting and making that ebook should not take you longer than 2 hours. Respectfully, it shouldn't take you longer than 1. But I will give you grace, and I'm going to give you 2. I'm going to give you 2 hours. And just so you know, I don't care how old you are. Age ain't nothing but a number to me. Ask my students. I don't give a damn. Because you know how to copy and paste. Don't lie. Because you copy and paste the links to Reels and you paste them in the group chats all day long. So I know you know how to copy and paste. If it is taking you longer than 2 hours to write this ebook and finish it, we have a serious problem. One problem that you might be experiencing, I used to be guilty of this too, this is how I know. You're a perfectionist, right? Okay, so what that means is everything about you just must be perfect or it's not right. You are the woman who will waste 6 months of her life that she will never, ever, ever get back just to overthink her brilliant idea and second guess her greatness. And then when you do decide to finally get started, you're going to take things out, put things back, you're going to get irritated and frustrated because it's still not perfect, and then you're going to give up on it again. Then you're going to let 3 more months go by that you never get back just to overthink and waste more of your precious time. Then when you finally decide to reset, this time you're going to go ask 20 people what they think you should do with your business. And the crazy thing is, these people that you're asking, they're not even business owners. These aren't even people that you would trade lives with. But for some reason, you care so much about what people think of you. And then when they do give you their opinion, you listen. Next thing you know, a whole year has gone by and you haven't done shit but waste your precious, valuable time that you will never, ever, ever get back. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sometimes that's just what I do best. And I'm gonna hold your hand very tightly when I say this to you. Just know I'm saying it out of love. You are not perfect at all. You are flawed. I am not perfect at all. I am flawed. Nobody is perfect at all, and everybody is flawed. We are all perfectly imperfect. What you really are is scary. You're still living in fear. That's what you're doing. And on my live, fear stands for fuck everything and run, and that's what you've been doing. You are so fearful of trying something new and failing. You are so fearful of putting yourself out there and people talking about you. You are so fearful of looking stupid. And all of this fear that you hold on to, that you refuse to let go, is stealing your dream life from you. It is stealing it. And you let it. Because let's be real. You have prayed and prayed and prayed. You know exactly what kind of life you want to live. God heard you loud and clear. You've already done the vision board time and time again. You know exactly what kind of vacations you want to take with your family. You know exactly what side of town you want to live on. You know the neighborhood. You know exactly how much money you want in your savings account. And most importantly, you know exactly how much money you want to leave your children. You know all of the things. But every single day that you don't live like that is another day that you chose to let fear steal it from you. And if you want to dig even deeper into why we hold on to all this fear in the first place, you want to know the truth? It's because you are self-sabotaging. That's what all this is. All this perfectionist crap, all of this I'm too busy crap, all of this I can't, it's not going to work, this social media, all of this crap is self-sabotage. You are doing this to yourself. Thank you, Coach Alyssa. That's why I keep telling you time and time again, you are getting in your own way. It is you holding you back. And the reason why we self-sabotage is because we have fragile egos. And your ego is terrified of feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. If you put yourself out there, if you try something new, and if it doesn't work, that feeling of disappointment scares the shit out of you. So you will self-sabotage and you will make excuses to avoid feeling disappointment if it doesn't work. You will self-sabotage by saying that you don't have time. But let's be clear, you have plenty of time because you are always on social media. You have already watched all of the tutorials. At this point, it's time to just do it. But you'll self-sabotage and say, I'm too busy. You're not too busy. You're self-sabotaging. Because if you really let go of the excuse and you actually realized how much time you do have, well, then that would force you to actually do it. But you're terrified of feeling disappointment if it doesn't work, so you'll self-sabotage and say you don't have time, you're too busy. No, you're not. You are not too busy. You're just self-sabotaging. You will self-sabotage by continuing to hold on to toxic relationships and friendships. You will say to yourself, well, they've been my best friend for 20 years. No, first of all, they haven't been your best friend nothing for 20 years. Okay, let's be clear. You were a friend to them. They were not a friend to you. That's not your friend. She uses you. She doesn't support you. She talks down on you. That is not your friend. But you will self-sabotage and say that you can't let go of that friendship, because if you let go, well, then you're going to build your confidence. Now you'll have the resources that you were giving away. Now you actually have the time to do the thing, but you'll self-sabotage and say that that's your best friend. You can't let her go. It's not your best friend. You are self-sabotaging. You are holding on to relationships that do not pour into you. That is self-sabotage. But I'm confused, because earlier you said that you hated your job. Earlier you said you were tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Earlier you said you were tired of always starting and stopping and giving up on yourself. That's what you said. But every day that you live like that is another day that you're still living in disappointment, because there's still things about your life that you are not 1000% happy with. I'm here to help you fix it. But we cannot fix it if we do not change. How can we stop living paycheck to paycheck? How can we bring more money into the household? How can we build our business if there's no products? You can't. How can customers buy your stuff if there's no stuff? They can't. They can't. How can we build our confidence if we keep breaking the promises that we make to ourselves? How can we finally start to feel good about ourselves and believe in ourselves and love ourselves if we keep letting ourselves down? You can't. You can't. So, you are going to have to launch. You are going to have to launch the product. You are going to have to start keeping the promise that you made to yourself. And I need you to understand and understand that your product will never, ever, ever be perfect, because you are not perfect. So you are incapable of making something perfectly. But also recognize this. The more you do something, the better you get. I don't have to convince you. Look at the results in your own life. You did not always know how to read and write. Now you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. You did not always know how to drive. Now you do that just fine. How? Because you consistently did it. The more content you post, the better the content will get. The more products you launch in the future, the better the products will get. The longer you run your business, the better the business will get. But it will still never be perfect. So stop trying. You're chasing something that doesn't even exist. All of our favorite businesses that we spend our hard-earned money with today have gotten better along the way. Look at Netflix. Believe it or not, Netflix did not always have a fancy Netflix app. They weren't always doing comedy specials with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle. They didn't always have their own production company making movies and TV shows that are now winning Emmys and Oscars. Absolutely not. And they damn sure did not always have wrestling on pay-per-view. Years ago, before COVID, you used to have to go to their website, netflix.com. You used to have to make a list of the movies you wanted to see. And these were not their originals. These were movies that were once in theaters. They would mail you a DVD off of the list. You could watch it as many times as you wanted. And then when you were ready for the next movie, you had to mail that one back. They didn't wait to have all of the funding to afford the most perfect software. They didn't wait to come up with more and more and more and more ideas. They launched with what they had and what they could afford. And the longer they ran their business, the business grew. The more customers they got, the more money they made. And then they were able to invest that money back into the business to make it even better. But it's still not perfect. We all got complaints. I still can't find nothing to watch. Netflix is $1 billion company. So if they had a messy middle, why do you think you don't get to have one? Amazon, Tesla, they all had messy middles. You will have a messy middle too, but you will launch regardless. Another reason why it might be taking you longer than 2 hours to copy and paste some words is because you are distracted as fuck. You're distracted. Listen, I have already accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. Because believe it or not, most people are not really looking for solutions to their problems. Most people are just looking to pass time. Most people are just looking to complain and vent about their problems to anyone who's willing to listen. But the minute you present them with the solution to the problems that they have, they bail, they dip, because they weren't really looking for solutions in the first place. I'm not here for that shit. No. I am here to help the woman who actually wants to change her life. But in order for her to actually change her life, she has to first become aware of the things that she's been doing. Which means I have to tell you the truth. But the truth will set you free. It might make you uncomfortable, but it will set you free. See, when you get off of work, you could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you make to yourself, but you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the phone and gossip with your friends about celebrities and their drama. When you do have time off from work, like the weekends, you could work on your business, reaching your goals, keeping the promises that you made to yourself so you can finally start to love yourself and respect yourself. But you make the choice not to. You choose to sit on the couch and binge watch Netflix and Hulu for hours. Late at night, when your children are asleep, you could work on your business and reaching your goals, keeping those promises that you made to yourself so you can finally feel good about yourself. But you make the choice not to. You choose to scroll social media, laughing at funny videos and sharing them back and forth in the group chats. And the reason why we hold on to all of these distractions, social media, gambling, drinking, all of these distractions that we have, the real reason why we hold on to them is because we are trying to escape. This is escapism. And the reason why you're trying to escape is because there's things about your life that you're not 1000% happy with. And instead of you just being a grown woman and fixing it, you choose to run from it. But let me ask you, and just be honest, because listen, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. So just be real with yourself for once. Is that working? Is what you're doing working? Is that working for you? Are you getting the results that you want? Do you feel good? When your alarm goes off in the morning, are you ready to start your day? Or are you dragging out of the bed saying, here we go with this shit again? Do you have the peace that you want? Do you have the freedom that you want? Do you have the happiness that you want? Because if the answer is no, then that means it's time to change something. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. So if that's not working for you, that means it's time to change something. Instead of trying to escape a life that you're not 1000% happy with, how about we just lock in and build a life that we never feel the need to escape from? Okay. So This is what you're going to do today, not tomorrow. Today. Today, you are going to turn the TV off. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Tell your friends you will talk to them later. You are building your dream life. You are going to sit down at home. No, you don't need to go to Starbucks because let's be real, you get distracted there. You are going to start your ebook and then you're going to finish it. Not start, stop, come back next week because we already know how you roll. You're not coming back. You're going to start it and you're going to finish it. 2 hours is all you need. If we are crystal clear on all of those instructions, then go ahead and put clear in the chat. Because respectfully, there is no point in talking about sales if we don't have anything to sell. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz, and we are building our online business from scratch. Let me see one person at least put clear in the chat. Let me know I'm speaking to someone who's listening. I see 35 people on TikTok or on YouTube. Let me see one person put clear in the chat. Also, you guys, make sure you follow me so you do not lose me because they do steal my videos. They do make fake accounts and they're going to turn around and message you. Also, make sure you guys follow me and like the live. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sales. I told you guys a few minutes ago that sales is 80% of the business, right? That's more than half. So we've got to get sales right or we won't have a business. But I also have to keep it real with you. Sales is where most people fail. Most people fail at sales. Good morning, but not for the reasons that you think. So don't run away and say, oh my God, it's because sales is so hard, I can't do this. No, that's not why. Sales is actually very easy. But people's mindset and the things that they think in regards to sales is what makes sales so hard for them. So in order to sell something, we have to first fix our headspace in regards to sales. Okay? So let's go ahead and clear all this up. First of all, some of y'all might be saying, well, I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to be annoying. What if people unfollow me? What if people think I'm begging them for money? Okay. First of all, selling is not begging. Okay? Selling is solving. People have a problem and you have a solution. You're not begging anyone for anything. So whoever told you that, stop listening to them. Get that out your head right now. Number 2, you don't have a choice but to remind people consistently about who you are, what you do, and how you can help people because people will forget. Ladies, listen, life is lifing and stress is stressing for everybody. And everybody is living their own lives, okay? People are being bombarded with content from the time they wake up to the time they go to bed every single day because most people are on social media all day. So you have to consistently remind people about who you are, what you do, and how you can help people so they can even begin to remember. Because if you don't, I promise you, they will forget all about you. Why do you think I keep telling you guys to take notes? I keep saying time and time again, write this down. Well, I'm not repeating it for my health. I'm telling you to write it down because I already know you're going to forget. Why do you think I keep telling you that the key word of this live is execution? You have heard me say it over and over again. Why do I keep repeating myself? Because I need you to understand. I need it to stick in your pretty head. Psychology has already proven the more you hear something, the more it sticks. So I gotta keep telling you to execute so you actually do it. You have to consistently remind people about your products and services so that they can even begin to remember who you are, because they will forget. Look at Amazon. We all know who they are, right? Everybody got the memo. And most of us are Prime members, meaning we pay a monthly subscription to utilize 2-day, 1-day, and same-day shipping. So even though everyone knows who Amazon is, and most of us spend our hard-earned money with them every single month, they still remind you consistently, daily, that they exist. Look at those Amazon trucks that you see on the road. One just passed by. You can't even go 2 miles down the street without seeing one. They didn't have to paint those trucks blue and put their logo on it. They could have left them white, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every time you see one of their trucks, which is multiple times a day, your brain remembers Amazon. You can't even go down a neighborhood or enter into a mailroom without seeing Amazon packages everywhere. They didn't have to put their logo on those packages, those cardboard boxes. They could have left them blank, but they did it for a reason. Why? So that every time you see one of their packages, which is all day, your brain remembers Amazon. Now, let's be honest. Do you really think they're sitting in their marketing office talking about, let's stop being annoying, or we don't want people to think we're begging them for money? What if people unsubscribe from Prime? Do you really think they're worried about that? No. Because they know they have a solution to your problem. You're lazy and you want convenience. We all do. So they will continue to remind you consistently about who they are, what they do, and how they can help people. And you will continue to spend your hard-earned money with them every single month. True or false? They know you're not going nowhere. Thank you, Sassy. For those of you guys who have seen my face before, maybe I'm not a new face to you. I have been doing this full time for 6 years. I am all over the internet. You might have found me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. I'm everywhere. How is it that I'm able to show up consistently and talk about Glow Up Academy without worrying about people thinking I'm being annoying or begging them for money, or worrying about people unsubscribing or unfollowing because I'm doing too much? Because I know I have a solution to people's problems. That's how. People want to become confident. They want to actually believe in themselves and keep the promises they make to themselves. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to become consistent and disciplined and actually follow through with the goals that they've had for years. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. People want to build their online business. They want to sell their products. They want to monetize their platforms. I work with them every single day inside of Glow Up Academy. If people unsubscribe or unfollow because I'm being annoying, respectfully, I don't care. I don't care. They just weren't ready to change their life, and that's fine. Most people don't change unless the pain of staying the same outweighs the pain of change. In other words, they just haven't hit their brick wall. But when they do, they'll come back. And because I have that energy with my products and services, I sell, and I sell a lot. Because Amazon has that energy with their products and services, they sell, and they sell a lot. And if you want to sell a lot too, you are going to have the same energy. There is no if, ands, or buts about it. Okay? Okay. If you're ready for sales tip number 1, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. Happy Wednesday. We are building our online business, but most importantly, we are building ourselves. While I wait for at least one person to put 1 in the chat, I do want to address the elephant in the room real quick, which is failing. A lot of you guys have amazing ideas. Some of y'all been sitting on these amazing ideas for years upon years, but you're terrified of starting because you're terrified of failing. But what if I told you a lot of you guys are very confused as to what failing even means? So let me go ahead and unconfuse you. See, some of y'all think failing means launching your first ebook. And if you're not a millionaire in 30 days, then you failed. Some of y'all are really out here thinking that if you post your first YouTube video and you don't get 50,000 subscribers by the end of the week, then you failed. Some of y'all really believe that if you post 7 TikTok videos and each one does not get 10,000 views, then you failed. But that's not failing. See, failing only exists when you quit. When you throw in the towel and you say, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. I give up. I'm done. Well, then that is when you have officially failed. But if every single day you just keep showing up, you just keep taking a half an inch out of that comfort zone, doing something a little bit different every single day, just to get closer and closer and closer to what you want in your life, that's not failing. See, let me be real. Society today has become extremely entitled. Entitlement is at an all-time high. I can't make this up. And most people have been living in this sense of entitlement for so long, they don't even recognize how entitled they are. And so what they have done, what you have done, is you have pulled a number out of thin air and you have said to yourself, I should get the results that I want by this time frame because I said so. And if it doesn't happen, then I failed. You have just created this unrealistic timeline of when you should get it because you said so. That's entitlement. But the crazy thing is, the results always come. They always come. But they just may not come in the time frame in which you feel entitled to them. See, I lost 100 pounds. 100 pounds. Okay, that's a whole person. Anyone who has lost any amount of weight knows this to be true. Be honest. If you let go of the excuses, if you just let go of the excuses and you just stop and you say, you know what, let me just eat less food. Let me just move my body more. Don't you eventually get to the goal weight that you always wanted to be at? Yeah, you do. You want to know why most people don't reach their goal weight? You want to know the truth? It's because they felt entitled to the results that they wanted in a particular time frame. They felt that they should lose 50 pounds in 7 days because they said so. So they're going to go ahead and do water cleanses. They're going to go ahead and starve themselves. They're going to do all these ridiculous things for 7 days straight because they said they're entitled to 50-pound weight loss in 7 days. That's why they do not reach their weight loss goals. For anyone who has gotten a degree, whether you've gotten a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD, let me ask you, if you just keep going to class and you just keep doing your assignments, you just let go of the excuses, and you just keep going to class, you just keep doing the assignments, don't you eventually get your degree? Yeah, you do. You want to know why a lot of people don't get their degree? Because they gave up. They gave up. They gave up. So, why would your business be any other way? It's not. If you keep posting your content, if you keep posting your content, you will eventually get to the subscriber count you wanted. You will eventually get to the follower count you wanted. You will eventually get to the financial goal that you wanted because you kept showing up. So for anyone who's on this live, who is terrified to start because they are terrified of failing. Just don't quit. Because if you don't quit, then you fail. And now you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Okay? Okay. Sales tip number 1. Good morning, good morning. Content is king and distribution is queen. Content is king and distribution is queen. All right, so let's break this down so it makes the most sense. Let's start with the content is king portion. Okay, your content is just anything that you upload to social media. So pictures, reels, long form YouTube videos. If you go live, typing statuses on Facebook, Threads, X, all of that is content. Okay. And we're going to tell people about our products and services and how we can help people through our content, okay? That's how we're gonna get the word out. But content is king because remember we said people are extremely forgetful. So we have to be consistently reminding people of who we are, what we do, and how we can help people so they can even begin to remember, okay? Now, one thing I want you guys to adapt as far as mindset is I keep saying we're going to take a half an inch out of the comfort zone. I didn't say we're taking 10 feet. I didn't say we're taking 1,000 feet. I say we're going to take a half an inch out of our comfort zone every single day, meaning we're going to crawl before we walk and walk before we run. We're going to slowly create smaller habits, smaller routines that will eventually get us to our overall goal. Remember, your comfort zone is your daily routines and habits. So if we can just slowly start to change those over time, 6 months, you're a totally different person. Whole year later, unrecognizable. Because you just took slow baby steps. Maybe you're struggling with posting content consistently right now because you're struggling with camera shyness, okay? So we got to get you out your camera shyness first. I never want you to feel overwhelmed. The minute you begin to feel overwhelmed, that's when you freeze and you give up, okay? So we're gonna start slowly. To slowly get out of your camera shyness, what I want you to do starting today, not tomorrow, today, I want you to sit in front of your phone or your camera, whatever you're gonna be recording with, and I want you to talk to it for 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't care. Just talk to it. And this isn't stuff to post. This is just for you to first get out of the camera shyness, okay? And I want you to do this multiple times a day. And don't you dare tell me you don't have time. Again, you're lying to yourself. You are self-sabotaging. We already talked about that. You have a lot of time because the time that you spend on these apps is the time that you could be doing this. That is why I keep telling you, get off of these apps. You are wasting your precious, valuable time. The time that you're scrolling is the time that you could be doing this. Within 2 weeks, you won't even be camera shy anymore, all because you decided to put yourself first. So, multiple times a day for 30-second increments, 5-minute increments, I don't give a damn. Just do it multiple times a day. Once you are no longer camera shy and you don't feel cringe or awkward, you're comfortable, right? Now we're gonna commit to posting just one 30-second video once a week. Once a week, we're gonna commit to posting one. So if there's 7 days in a week, I'm giving you 6 days to figure out what you're gonna talk about, record it, edit it, come up with a caption, and then post it. You get 6 days to do one video. You can do it. Once you get used and you're consistent with posting once a week, we're gonna up it to 2. Then we're gonna up it to 3, and then so on and so forth. We're gonna crawl before we walk and walk before we run. Next thing you know, you are consistently posting your content, okay? Now, the distribution is queen part. Not only will we be working on posting consistently, we're also going to be building at least 3 platforms. Why 3, Jazz? Because one is too close to none, that's why. Like that one income you have at that one job. If they laid you off tomorrow, what would you do? You would be sitting there freaking out, trying to figure out how you're gonna pay them bills. If you put all of your eggs in a TikTok basket and then the US decides to ban it, what would you do? You would be freaking out. Like all of the other TikTokers who only had a TikTok account. I teach my students we have got to stay proactive so we are not reactive. In other words, we got to stay ready. And no, it's not hard to build 3. The same exact video that you post on TikTok, you'll throw it on YouTube, Facebook, Threads, wherever, okay? And so it's not hard. Now, which platform should you grow? You got a lot of options. I always do, though, suggest starting with the platform that you're always on. So if you always find yourself on TikTok, start TikTok. Obviously, you like this app so much because you're always here, and then just choose 2 more. But I will remind you, in case you did not know, YouTube is the most watched platform. YouTube, not TikTok. YouTube has even replaced cable TV. So I always urge and encourage my students to start their YouTube channel. There are more people watching YouTube than anywhere. So if everybody is on YouTube, why aren't you? Why aren't you? Start your YouTube channel. Okay? Now, before we get any further, I want to speak to the woman on this live who is still holding on to fear. Girl, she's not saying too much. She probably on YouTube because I don't see anyone on TikTok right now. She probably on YouTube. YouTube, I got 20-some people in here. She's quiet. She ain't saying too much. She's glad she found this live. Definitely divine timing, right? There's a reason why this live showed up on your For You page today. So she's happy about it. She's taking her notes. But in the back of her head, she's like, what the hell did I just walk into? Jazz, this sounds amazing. I would love to run my own business and post my content and sell my products. I would love freedom. I would love peace. But I don't know. You're telling me to post consistently. You're telling me to build 3 platforms. You're telling me to make my own ebook? Jazz, I don't know, girl. I want to, but I don't think I can. And honestly, this just sounds really, really hard. Okay. Well, before you run away from your brilliant idea, your $1 million idea, just listen. The first thing I want you to know is this. I can't convince you of anything. Okay, I don't have the power to convince anyone to do anything. So I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to try. If you want to believe that posting content consistently is hard, then you're right. It's hard. If you want to believe that building 3 platforms is hard, fine. Your feelings are valid. It's hard. If you want to believe that creating an ebook that AI will write for you is hard, then fine. Okay. It's hard. But I do want to remind you the life you're currently living is hard. Going to a job that you hate every day, that's hard. Robbing Patrice to pay Paula, making payment arrangement after payment arrangement is hard. Crying every day because you are unhappy with the way things are going for you right now. You are stressed and frustrated. That is hard. Knowing deep down in your soul, with all you have, that there's something better for you and not living it today is hard. That's hard. And you live like that every single day. And see, that's what fear will do. That right there, that's what fear will do. And let's be honest, you let it. You let it. Every single day, you let fear convince you that you can't do any of these things. But look at what you're already doing. You let fear steal your dream life from you. The life where you're living in peace, where you're not stressing out about bills, yeah, that life. The life where you have a savings account, you have 6 months of expenses in case something happens, yeah, that life. The life where you get to travel with your family and your children and create new memories, that life. The life where you can leave things to your children other than your debt, that life. It's stealing that life. Because every day that you don't do this is another day that you let fear steal it from you. One thing I've noticed that we have a tendency to do is never give ourselves credit where credit is due. Life's for everybody. Stress is for everybody. Nobody's life is perfect. And we have all had moments in our life that were extremely hard. And in those moments, we had no idea how we were going to overcome it. No clue. But you did. You got through it. Because you're still here today. You have already proven to yourself how strong you are. You have already proven to yourself how resilient you are. Because if you weren't, you wouldn't have got through that. And even though you've overcome some tough times, you still won't even tell yourself how proud you are of you. You still won't even tell yourself how amazing you are, even though you have proof that you are these things. I remember when I lost my grandma, my whole world turned upside down. She pretty much raised me. She raised me, okay, damn near. And even when I went off to college, I would call her 4 and 5 times a day just to check on her, just to see how she's doing, to tell her about what I got going on campus. She was that woman I could go to, and no matter what I told her, she didn't judge me, right? It's something about a grandma's love. And when she passed, I had no idea how I was going to overcome that. And that was the first time I experienced grief in my life. She died when I was 26. And even though that was tough, I'm still here today, 10 years later. You are very strong. You are very resilient. I don't have to convince you of this because you can see this for yourself. You see people on these apps who are in worse off situations than you, still showing up and building their business. You see women on these apps with more children than you, still showing up, building their business. You see people on these apps who have worse health conditions than you, still showing up, building their business. You see people on these apps who are down and out right now. They lost their job. They lost their house. And even though they have the weight of the world on their back right now, they are still showing up, building their business. If they can do it, Why can't you? Well, you want to know why you're not? Because you won't let go of fear. And they did. You won't let go of fear. And they did. That is the only difference between them and you. Listen, my online business changed my entire life. I've been doing this full time for 6 years. I started during COVID. Made more money than I ever could have imagined from my cell phone, a laptop, and some Wi-Fi. I now have peace. You can't even put a price tag on that. I have purpose now. I get to wake up every day doing what I love to do. I have freedom. I do what I want, when I want, and how I want to do it. I have confidence now. I keep all of the promises I made to myself. But before all of this, before COVID, no. I lived a completely different life. I used to be miserable. I was depressed. I had anxiety. I used to be 100 pounds overweight. I had a 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated. And to top it all off, I used to be an alcoholic. See, I bought into the American dream bullshit that they sell everybody. But I bought in back in high school. Because society told me that if I go to college and I get a 4-year bachelor's degree, I'll be able to graduate and get a good job with benefits and stability. I'll be able to afford to take a couple of vacations a year. I'll be able to afford to put extra money in my 401k plan. So when I get too old to work, I'll be able to retire with dignity. That's what they told me. So I bought in and said, let's do this American dream. I went off to college and got me a 4-year degree. I did the whole thing. Went off to college, stayed in campus, an hour away from home. Did the whole thing. 4 years later, I got my bachelor's degree. Cost me $40,000, okay? Moved back home, back to my mom's house. Most college kids do. Started looking for a job. 6 months later, I got my full-time job with benefits, PTO, health insurance. And they were gonna be paying me $60,000 a year. That was more than I had ever made my entire life. I was 23, okay? So I literally thought I was about to be rich. I was used to fast food, so this was a come up, okay? So now that I'm about to making $60,000 a year, I decided it's time for me to move out of my mom's house. I'm sick of her rules. I wanna be a grown woman and do grown woman things. So I got my own place, paying all my own bills. Didn't stop there though. No. I had to get a new car, right? Because my car is my status symbol. And the status symbol is I made it. So I decided to get a car note. Now it's crazy because I already had a car. The car was paid off. My grandma got it for me. But it was old, okay? That wasn't the status symbol. So there were no leather seats. There was no push to start. There was no tablet on the dash. So I had to upgrade to match my new upgraded life. Duh. So I decided to get me a brand new Dodge Charger. My mom and my grandma told me don't do it, but what do they know? That car payment was $450 a month. And we all know with expensive cars comes expensive car insurance and expensive gas. By the time I paid all of my bills for the month, I was broke. Broke as hell. There were no trips. I couldn't afford to take a trip, okay? There was no extra money for savings and 401k plans. I was broke. I could barely afford to eat. I had another problem. I had to start paying back those student loans. See, at 23, I didn't think the government was serious about getting their money back off of some student loans because everybody has student loans, right? That's the American way. Girl, The government is not playing with you when it comes to those student loans. They will give you 6 months after you graduate to get on your feet. They're not going to call you. They're not going to send no letters. They just want you to focus on getting a job. But best believe when that 6-month mark hits, they're sending letters to the house because they want to see the tax returns. Because here's the kicker. They're going to tell you how much you can afford. And since they saw on paper that I made $60,000 a year, I didn't have any dependents, no children, they said I should have no problem paying $400 a month. When I saw that, my jaw dropped. I'm like, why is mine $400, but my friends are only paying $50? Because they go off of your income. My friends hadn't found their dream job yet. I did. I had 11 student loan accounts that they lumped under one monthly payment of $400 a month. Every single month that I did not pay those student loans, which was every month because I really couldn't afford it, I got 11 missed payments on my credit. In the course of 1 year, I racked up 121 missed payments. My credit dropped 520. So there goes my dreams of home ownership. Who's gonna give me a mortgage loan with a 520 credit score? Nobody. Not till I fix that. So I'm broke as hell. I have really bad credit. I have one last problem. I hated my job. Nowhere in this American dream blueprint did they tell me I would be miserable at my 9 to 5. Now, I was 23. I'm going to be honest. I was very naive. When I was naive, I was gullible as hell. I believed everything that everyone said. I didn't think people had a reason to lie. I was green. I was green, okay? And so when I went into the interview, my supervisor, she told me that everyone, even though the department was all women, and I was going to be the youngest one there, it was all middle-aged women, they all got along. There was no arguing, there was no drama, and they were one big old happy work family. So I went into the department believing that was true. I learned in corporate America, those are not your friends. They will sit with you in the break room. They'll kiki and kaka with you, but they don't like you. Don't get confused. They will even hang out with you off the clock. So at this point, they're not even getting paid to be around you, but they still choose to hang out with you for happy hour. They choose to invite you over to their house. They choose to invite you to their weddings and their baby showers, but they don't like you. It's weird. They will even spend their hard-earned money on you. So when it's your birthday, they all come together and put in to get you a gift, but they don't like you. They'll even do the Thanksgiving potlucks. So everybody brings a dish, and then we all sit at the table, and we all sing Kumbaya and act like we're one big old work family, but they don't like you. And best believe, all you have to do is piss off the right one, and they will make sure that every day you work there will be a living hell. I made friends with a woman who was 31 years old. I was 23. And she told me I was like the little sister she never had. And me being gullible, I'm like, oh my God, you're like the big sister I never had. I used to tell her all my tea because I trusted her. I believed her. We used to hang out and everything. When we both decided to put in to be promoted, she decided to tell my supervisor everything that I told her about my supervisor in confidence. And so my supervisor made sure that every day I worked there was a living nightmare. I was miserable. And it was my fault. I didn't know no better. I didn't know. I was miserable. I must have put in hundreds, if not thousands, of applications trying to find a new job. I couldn't even get an interview. Nobody was calling me back. So I'm broke. I have really bad credit, and I hate my job. For the first time in my life, at 23 years old, I felt trapped. If you've never experienced what it feels like to feel trapped, then consider yourself blessed. You're blessed. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But let me give you some context. See, trap feels like no matter what you do, your life's not gonna get no better. That's how trap feels. You could try to be optimistic and try to have a positive outlook on life, but it feels like nothing but negative ass shit from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed every single day. That's how trap feels. You could try to work some overtime or get a part-time job so you can catch up on some bills and stop being so stressed about money. But just when you start to have a little bit of a savings account, something always comes and slaps you in the face. Now your car won't start. Now you got to dish out money for that. It's always something. You can try to pray about it, but it really starts to feel like God is ignoring you because you still wake up with the same problems every single day. That's how trap feels. And I lived like that for 6 years. I used to pull up at that job. I would sit in my car and cry before I even clocked in. I started to bring that job home with me. You ever did that? So what that means is you have clocked out. You should be at home spending time with your spouse and enjoying that little bit of time that you get, but you can't do it peacefully because now you're telling him all the toxic things they're doing to you at work. These people have stolen your mind. They have stolen your peace. You can't escape them. I was so stressed out about bills, I couldn't even sleep anymore. I started to have anxiety. I grew up in a pretty healthy household. I didn't have anxiety problems as a child. Now I got butterflies in my stomach that I can't seem to get rid of. I started to become paranoid that they were gonna fire me. You ever been at a job where you feel like every day is gonna be your last day? Yeah. And to cope with all of that misery and anxiety and that depression, I started drinking. First, it was just a few drinks a week to calm my nerves, but that quickly spiraled out of control. And I became an alcoholic. And the only reason why I'm telling you any of this is because if any of my story resonates with you, then you are already doing something hard. Going to a job that drains your spirit every day is hard. Crying because you're so unhappy every day is hard. And see, the reason why I was so depressed back then was because I had nothing in my life to look forward to. Back then, I didn't have any interests. Back then, I didn't have any hobbies. So my life began to feel like it was on repeat. Get up, go to work, be miserable, come home, cry, drink, sleep, repeat, week after week, month after month, year after year. For the longest time, I thought there was something wrong with me for being depressed with that life. No, there was nothing wrong with me. That is depressing. Anyone would be depressed with that type of life. But now I get to wake up every single day doing what I love to do. And that's the beauty of online business, ladies, is you can monetize anything. Literally anything that you want to do, you can do it. I can't make this up. And I don't have to convince you. I know for a fact you see the darndest things on social. How many times do you scroll on your For You page and you're sitting there scratching your head trying to figure out, how the hell are they getting paid to do this? Well, I'm going to tell you how. You want to know how? Because they let go of fear and you choose to still hold on to it. No, your idea is not stupid. No, your idea is not far-fetched. You can do this if you let go of fear. You can monetize anything. And I do want to say one more thing before we move forward because I need to make sure you hear me loud and clearly. I hope you realize that if you work 40 hours a week or more, you spend more time at work with people you don't even like than you do with your family that loves you. See, I literally worked 9 to 5. So what should have only been a 20-minute drive into the city is over an hour because I'm stuck in rush hour traffic. So an hour to work, an hour back, 8 hours at work, 1 hour lunch break, that's 11 hours. out of my day, gone. You only get a few hours to spend with your spouse or your children before you have to put everyone to bed just to repeat the cycle again the next day. And let's be clear, your loved ones, they don't even get to experience the peaceful version of you. They don't even get to experience the happy version of you. They don't get to experience the stress-free version of you. That's not what they get. You know what they get? They get the miserable version of you. They get the stressed version of you. They get the depressed version of you. They don't get to experience your highest self, where you're happy. You put everyone to bed just to repeat the cycle again the next day, just to look forward to the weekend. And respectfully, what the hell are you looking forward to? Because Friday you still worked, so they still got 8 hours out you. Saturday is the only day that you get to do what you want, but Sunday, not so much, no. Because you have to prepare for the work week, right? Yeah, so you gotta cook, you gotta clean, you gotta go to the grocery store, you gotta do laundry, and then you have to mentally prepare yourself for the bullshit sitting on your desk come Monday. Ladies, that's not living. That is surviving. Life is meant to be lived, not survived. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but I know this. The God that I serve, he loves me. And he loves me a lot. And if he loves me so much, why would he put me on this earth to be hating the very life that he blessed me with? He didn't. He didn't. He didn't put me here to hate my life. He put me here for a very special reason. And he allowed me the opportunity to find it. And then online business allowed me the opportunity to monetize it. There is something very, very, very special about you too. Your life is worth more than bills. Your life is worth more than slaving away at a job to make someone else rich while you're counting pennies at home trying to make ends meet for you. Your life is worth more than that. Sometimes, a lot of times, life has a tendency to life. And on our journey of life, we lose our light. It'll get dim, and then it gets dark. Maybe it was toxic family, toxic friends, toxic relationship. In my case, it was a toxic job. And my light got dim, and then it got dark. But there's something special about you too. And you can do this too. If you even thought the thought, that's because you can. I believe the ideas that we get come from God. So when something inside of you is like, try this, do it differently, that's God talking to you. Most of the time, we don't really want to hear it, but that's God talking to you. So if you even thought about creating content, that's because you can. If you even thought about starting a business, that's because you can. If you even thought about selling your products, losing weight, going back to school, whatever it is, that's because you can. God would not plant seeds in an environment that couldn't harvest them. Meaning, if it was something that you were truly incapable of doing, it wouldn't have even crossed your mind. But it did. Because you can. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to let go of fear. Or you can continue to let fear steal your dream life from you. You can do this, ladies, but you gotta let go of fear. Okay? All right. Very good. For those of y'all who are just tuning in, good morning. My name is Coach Jazz. Sales tip number 2, write this down. Thank you so much for subscribing. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. People only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. So if they don't like you, they're not going to buy it. If they don't know you, not going to buy. And if they don't trust you, they're not going to buy it. So how do we get people to like us? Okay. You're going to do that through your content. And for those of y'all who are just tuning in, we said content is anything that you upload to social. So pictures, reels, long form YouTube videos, going live, statuses that you post on Facebook, Threads, Twitter, all of that is content. Now, in your content, you have to make sure that you are relatable and you have to make sure that you are authentic. In other words, you need to be yourself. Ladies, people connect with people through emotions. That's how they resonate with people. A lot of you guys are doing yourself, a disservice because you're trying to make your content perfect. But you're failing to realize that's inauthentic because you're not perfect. And then nobody can relate to that because they're not perfect. So stop. Just be yourself. And don't you dare let fear take over and try to convince you that no one's going to like you, because that's a lie. That's impossible. Because there are 8 billion people in this world. Somebody is bound to like you. And I used to be fearful of that too, you guys, okay? Listen, when you post your content, it goes everywhere. The internet is what's able to connect us from all over the world. There are literally people all over the world in all different countries who need you, who are struggling with the same exact thing that you have the solution for. You will be amazed at how many lives you are able to change, all because you decided to be yourself and post your content. I have women inside of the Glow Up Academy from all over the world. I'm in the US, by the way. There are women in there from Germany, Australia, the UK, Canada, Jamaica, Barbados. I've been to none of those countries. I just got my passport. But I was able to connect with people all over the place. All because I decided to be myself and post my content. What if I let fear take over this morning and I didn't go live because I was too worried about being perfect? Well, then those of you guys watching wouldn't have been able to receive this message, and I wouldn't have been able to help you. But that's literally what you're doing to other people because you won't get out your head. So please, for the love of God, just post the damn video. Okay? All right. We said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. All right, cool. Well, how do we get people to know us? All right. You are going to go live. I need you to go live. And yes, even if you're faceless, you can still go live. Don't think that because you're a faceless creator, you get out of any of these things we're talking about. Absolutely not. You're going to do all the things. Going live is by far the best way to build your community. Now, is it the only way? No. But it is the best way. Why? Because it allows people to get a sense of your energy and your vibes. It allows people to connect with you and engage and interact. And it also allows you to promote your products. Now, some of y'all are going to be hard-headed and you're going to say, that's great, Jazz, but I don't want to go live. And I'm going to say, fine, don't. I told you, I'm not the life coach that's going to try to convince you to do anything you don't want to do. If you don't want to go live, then don't go live. Whatever. But I am going to remind you of this. You also said that you didn't want to go to work. You said that you were tired of feeling overworked and underpaid. It amazes me how many people are willing to bust their ass at their job to build someone else's wealth. but they absolutely refuse to consistently spend 30 minutes a day or every other day or every other day building wealth for themselves. It makes no sense. But then got time to be on social media all day. Make it make sense. The math ain't mathing. I don't have to convince you. TikTok. You see creator after creator selling out. People are selling everything. Hair, makeup, nails, clothes, digital products, workout guides. Everything is for sale on TikTok. And the internet doesn't sleep. It doesn't matter what time of the day or night you get on there. They selling. So just go live and sell your products too. Now, some of y'all are like, well, Jazz, I would go live. I'm not against it. I'm just a little live shy. Okay. For my ladies on here who are live shy or camera shy or just struggling with any type of shyness, listen, the only reason why you're shy is just because you don't have enough experience doing it. Okay. It's not because you suck at life. It's not because this isn't meant for you. It's simply because you just don't have enough experience doing it. Maybe you did it once 6 months ago, but you haven't done it since. Anything that you do over and over and over again, I promise you, you will get better. We have been on this live for 115 minutes. And if I know anything about humans, I know that if you're still watching, that's because you trust what I'm saying to be true. Because if you thought I was full of shit, you would have left. So just trust this too. If you go live consistently, I promise you, you will get to a point where you are no longer live shy. And I don't have to convince you of consistency. Look at the results in your own life. You did not always know how to walk. Now you walk just fine. How? Because you had to consistently do it. You didn't always know how to read or write, but you do that just fine. How? Because you had to consistently do it. You did not always know how to drive or do your job, but you do those things just fine now. How? Because you consistently did it. So just imagine what would happen if you consistently went live. If you consistently posted your content. If you consistently showed up for your business. Wow. You would get a lot of stuff done. You would get a lot of results. I can't make this up. We said people only buy from people that they like, know, and trust. Okay, cool. Well, how do we get people to trust us? All right. There's a reason why I'm telling you to post consistently. And no, it's not for your health. The reason why I'm telling you to post consistently is because the more people see you, the more they begin to trust you. Consistency builds trust. I don't know if you know this or not, or if you're living under a rock, but people work very hard for their money. You work hard. I work hard. Everybody is out here working hard. And if you want someone to trust you with their hard-earned money, well, then you are going to have to be trustworthy, which means you have to be consistent. You don't have a choice. No ifs, ands, or buts. Now, I do want to do an exercise with you guys. For those of you guys who do not have a product yet, sit this out, take your notes. For those of you guys who do have a product, but you're struggling to make the sales that you want, this is for you, okay? First, what we got to do is remove the ego and the pride. That's number one, okay? Take the ego and the pride out of it. Now, some of y'all can't do that because you think you know everything and you don't believe that there's room for growth or improvement in life. Fine. I'm not going to convince you otherwise. Keep thinking that. Just know pride always comes before the fall. Now, for those of y'all who can remove the ego and the pride and you recognize that you don't know everything and there is always room for growth and improvement, I am speaking to you. First, what we're going to do is we're going to go to our profile and we're going to ask ourselves some questions. We have to be honest with ourselves. Write this down. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Let me say that again. The worst lies are the lies that you tell yourself. Don't you ever forget that. Now, ask yourself this. Is it clear as day who you are, what you do, and how you can help people. I also need you to ask yourself, you gotta be honest, take the emotions out. If you were not you, would you buy from you? If you were not you, would you buy from you? If the answer to any of those questions is no, well, then you should no longer be confused as to why people are not buying from you yet. There should be no more confusion. But the reason why I say yet is because you have the power to fix it. It's really that simple. So fix it. Make it clear as day who you are, what you do, how you can help people. So that when people go to your profile, when they watch your videos, they know exactly how you can help them. That is the beauty of life. That is the beauty of business. That is the beauty of everything that we have talked about this morning. Anything that is not giving you the results that you want, you have the power to fix it. And I'm going to be honest with you. You make the choice not to. I have already accepted the fact that I am not the life coach for everybody. I have already accepted the fact that I am not the business coach for everybody. Because believe it or not, most people aren't really looking for solutions to their problems. Most people are just looking to pass time. Most people are just looking to complain and vent to whoever is willing to listen. But the minute you give them the exact solution to the problems that they have, they bail because they weren't really looking for help. They weren't really looking to change. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for that. I am here to help the woman who truly wants to change her life. But in order for her to change her life, she's going to have to be made aware of the things that she's been doing so that we can fix it and so that we can change it. So I gotta tell you the truth. But the truth will set you free. Anything that is not giving you the results that you want in your life, anything, do not let that go over your head. You have the power to fix, but you make the choice not to. If you are struggling with live shyness or camera shyness, fix it. I already told you how. Start going live consistently. Start recording yourself consistently. And even though I gave you the exact solution to your problem, most of you, as soon as I end this live, all you're gonna go do is hop into another live or watch another YouTube video or ask ChatGPT some more questions. And you're not going to do what I told you to do to fix it. And then you're gonna have the audacity to sit there and complain about why you're live shy and why you're camera shy. Well, at that point, that is a choice. That's what you wanna be. Because if you truly didn't wanna be that anymore, you would do the thing I just told you to do. If you are struggling with confidence, meaning you care too much about what people think, you don't think you're worthy enough, you don't even think you're good enough, fix it. Fix it. I already told you how. Start keeping the promises that you made to yourself. If you told yourself that you were going to post content, then post it already. If you told yourself that you were going to start your business, then start it already. If you told yourself that you were going to sell your products, then sell them. What are you waiting for? If you told yourself you were going to lose weight, then lose it. You've been telling yourself that for years. And even though I gave you the exact solution to building your confidence, your self-respect, and your self-love, as soon as I end this live, most of you are just going to hop into another live. You're just going to watch more YouTube videos. You're going to ask ChatGPT more questions, and you're still not going to do the very thing I told you to do to fix your problem. And then you're going to have the audacity to sit there and complain and say, I just care too much about what people think. Well, that's what you want to do. Because if you truly didn't want to live that way anymore, you would do the very thing I told you to do to fix it. See, we live in our comfort zone, and most people refuse to leave it. Your comfort zone, that's just your daily routines and habits. That's just what you're used to. It's the people that you hang out with consistently. It's the places you frequent consistently. It's the type of content you watch consistently. It's how you waste your time consistently. Your comfort zone is just your daily routines and habits. It's the path of least resistance. And notice, we never like to leave our comfort zone. The minute something feels just a little uncomfortable, we fall right back into our comfort zone, what we're used to doing every single day. Even though that comfort zone is draining you. Even though that comfort zone is depressing you, you still choose to stay there. We get so comfortable with being miserable. We have become comfortable with being insecure. We have become comfortable with never prioritizing ourselves in our own life. But the results that you're looking for, the life that you want for yourself and your family, is not in that comfort zone. You have been in that comfort zone of yours for years, and you haven't found it because it's not there. The results that you want, the life you want, does not exist in that comfort zone. You are going to have to take a half an inch out and do something a little bit different to begin to get the results that you've always wanted. If you don't want to, fine, keep doing what you're doing, and just come back a year from now and let me know how it's going. You're gonna have to take a half an inch out and do something a little bit different, even if it's uncomfortable, to get you to where you want to be. See, a lot of us live in a trapped mindset. And we have been living in this trapped mindset for so long that we don't even recognize that we're living in one. And what you have done is convinced yourself with your heart and your soul that how things are today is how it's always going to be. And you do not have the abilities to fix it or change it. And then what you have done is you have surrounded yourself with other trap-minded people. Listen, you may not want to hear this, but this is the truth. You attract what you are. You attract what you are. The friends that you have around you, the people that you're closest with, y'all similar in some way, shape, or form. You may not want to believe that, but it's true, because if you were not, you wouldn't even be compatible. You have surrounded yourself with other trap-minded people. And then it's a whole bunch of trap-minded people giving trap-minded advice. But I am here to tell you, you are not trapped at all. And you always have choices. I used to believe that I was trapped too. I had a trapped mindset. I used to really believe I was trapped at that job that I hated so much, and you couldn't tell me otherwise. I believed it with my soul, that how things were was how it was always going to be, and I was never going to be able to fix it. I really believed that. But I am here to tell you today, I was never trapped at that job. No, I was not. Even though I believed it, I was never trapped. I had choices. But the choices that I had was going to require me to take a half an inch out of my comfort zone and do something a little bit different to get to where I wanted to be. But I had gotten comfortable with being miserable. I had gotten comfortable with being depressed. I had gotten comfortable with being broke. See, I could have just moved back home. I had that option. I could have quit my job and just moved back home and then looked for work some more. I could have did that. But then, oh God, that means I have to move back home. That means I have to live with my mom. Oh God, I didn't want to do that. And I also believed that that was moving backwards. That's what I really believed. I believed that if I move back home, then I'm going backwards in life, not forward. No, what's going backwards is continuing to live a life that you're not happy with. That's what's really going backwards. So even though it would have only been temporary until I found another job, I still chose to stay in my comfort zone. I still chose to go to a job that was making me miserable. I was never trapped. I could have quit that job and just went back to fast food. I could have quit that job and went back to fast food. That's what I was used to. I worked McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. I worked them all. I could have went back to fast food. But then I'm like, means I gotta go back to fast food. Even though it would have only been temporary, until I found something better. I chose to stay at a job that was making me miserable. I chose to stay at a job that was draining me. I could have went back to fast food temporarily until I found something else. I was never trapped at that job. So what I chose to do, I chose to make excuses. I chose to complain. I chose to vent. I chose to throw pity parties for myself. I chose to do all of the things except the one thing that would have changed my entire life forever, which was leave. I refused to take a half an inch out of my comfort zone, be slightly uncomfortable for a little while until I got to where I needed to be that would have been better. I was never trapped at that job. And you are not trapped. Some of y'all have convinced yourself that you just need more information. And you really believe deep down in your soul that if you just watch more TikTok lives, if you just watch more YouTube videos, if you just archive more glow up posts, and if you just ask ChatGPT more questions, then you will get all the information that you need, and then you will have the ability to fix it later. But what if I told you you're not lacking information? No, you're not. In fact, you have more than enough information than you even know what to do with. Because let's just go ahead and be real. You're on social media all day. So you've already seen it all. You've watched TikTok coach after TikTok coach. You have seen everybody's face at least once. You have watched countless YouTube videos on how to glow up, how to heal, how to brand, how to sell. You have already asked ChatGPT 2,000 questions last week. You have all the information that you need. You're not lacking information. What you are lacking is implementation, meaning you don't execute shit. You are the woman who consistently talks about what she's going to do, but you never just do it. You are the woman who makes excuse after excuse as to why it won't work for you. You are the woman who procrastinates and talks about later and tomorrows and New Year's and resets. You are the woman who complains and vents and throws pity parties for herself. You are the woman who does all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life forever, which is start. You won't even start. You're not executing, which is why I made the key word of this live, execution. Because if you do not execute all the information that you have learned, nothing for you will change. You are going to have to change because there's things about you that is holding you back. You are the common denominator in your own life. It doesn't matter how many more videos you watch if you don't change and execute. It doesn't matter how many more courses you buy if you do not change who you are and execute. I'm going to assume that you want to be the version of yourself who is confident, who follows through with the things she tells herself she's going to do, who doesn't care what people think, who knows how to put herself first and not feel guilty about it, who knows how to tell people no, who has standards and boundaries in her life, who's building her business and showing up and genuinely happy. That's the version of you I'm assuming you want to be. Well, in order to become that version, you're going to have to change who you are, because who you are today does not align with that. And until you change, you won't become that version. But you're more than capable of becoming her. She's already within you. She's already there, but she's buried under the fear. She's buried under the limiting beliefs. She's buried under the procrastination. She's buried under all of the excuses that you refuse to let go of. And until you let go of those things, you will not become that version. I don't have to convince you. Just keep doing what you've been doing and come back a year from now and let me know how it's going. You are going to have to change. One thing I've noticed in society is we have become extremely entitled. The entitlement is at an all-time high. And people have been entitled for so long that we don't even realize how entitled we have become. A lot of you guys really believe deep down in your soul that you are entitled to time. And you have convinced yourself that if you don't start today, you always have tomorrow. And if you don't start tomorrow, you always have Monday. And if you don't start Monday, you always have next month. And if you don't start next month, you always have next year. I'm confused. Just a little confused. Because the last time I checked, I could be wrong, but I thought tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. So if it's not guaranteed, how do you know how many more tomorrows you have? How do you know how many more years you have? How can you be so sure? You don't know. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. Time is your most valuable, precious asset. And instead of you spending the time that you are blessed with, living in your purpose, being free, doing what genuinely makes you happy, spending time with the people who truly love you and value you, you choose to waste your precious, valuable time. You waste it on social media. You waste it on people who are using you. You waste it on celebrity gossip and drama. You waste it watching the news and fear-mongering. You waste your precious, valuable time. See, some of y'all don't want to believe that time is your most precious, valuable asset. Some of y'all don't believe that. Some of y'all are really out here thinking it's money. You really think it's money. And can't nobody convince you otherwise. It's not money. Money is not your most valuable asset. Because you could lose $1,000 today. Yeah, you'd be pissed off. I'd be pissed off too. Of course. You'd be mad. Of course. But guess what? You can still go make 1,000 more. Might take you a while, but you can still go make it. But when you lose your time, you can't get a second of that back. It is gone forever. 2025 came and left. And if you keep wasting your time, the only thing you're going to get is regret. You don't want to walk around with regret. That is a horrible emotion to carry with you every single day. Stop wasting your precious time. You are not entitled to time. And one day, you will run out of time. One of the toughest reality pills I had to swallow in my own journey. This is tough, so brace yourself. Brace yourself. Your life and the direction that it's going in, whether it's going great or not so great, is a direct reflection of the choices that you make. I told you guys I used to be 100 pounds overweight. Well, my obesity was a direct reflection of the choices that I made, the foods that I chose to eat, and the exercises I chose not to do. Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you made. When I heard that, my ego shattered. Because for the longest time, I thought the reason why I was living paycheck to paycheck was just because I didn't make enough money. And if I just made more, then I would no longer live paycheck to paycheck. Nope. Mm-mm. You want to know why I was living paycheck to paycheck? Because I was living above my means. That's why. That's why. I was buying cars I couldn't afford. I was living in apartments that I couldn't afford. So because I chose to do those things, I also chose what comes with it. Stress. 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 Some of y'all might be like, Jazz, I hear you. People do live above their means, but that's not why I'm broke. I know exactly why I'm struggling. How can I get ahead in this economy? Jazz, times are hard. Food prices, gas prices, rent prices are out of this world. How can I afford to get ahead financially if I can't even afford to be alive? I hear you. I hear you. But I'm going to repeat myself. Your finances are a direct reflection of the choices that you make. You don't want to believe me? Fine. Let's be real. Ladies, times have been hard. Am I lying? Food prices, rent prices, gas prices have been on the rise for years. This isn't new. But every day, you choose to do nothing about it. Because let's be clear, you already knew what an ebook was. I didn't teach you that. You knew what an ebook was because you're on social media all day. You could have launched that ebook 6 months ago. You would be making sales today. You could have started that YouTube channel 4 months ago. I didn't teach you about YouTube. You knew YouTube existed. You knew you could be monetized on YouTube. You knew that. But you're still not making your YouTube videos. It could be monetized today. You could have started that TikTok account last month. We already said your community, your viewers, subscribers, your followers, those are the people who buy your products. You could have started your TikTok last month. You would be building your community today. But every day you choose not to. You choose not to. You choose to complain. You choose to vent. You choose to throw pity parties for yourself. You choose to procrastinate. You choose to talk about what's not fair and what's not going to work for you. You choose to distract yourself and scroll on social media. You choose to do all of the things except the one thing that will change your entire life, which is start. And until you start, until you execute what we've talked about this morning, nothing for you is going to change. I don't have to convince you. Just keep doing what you've been doing and come back next year and let me know how it's going. You got to change. There are things about you that do not align with the life that you want to live. And until you change who you are so you can attract those things, you won't get it. And listen, I'm not perfect at all. I'm nothing like who I used to be. The version of me that y'all see today is a direct reflection of the changes that I've made in my own life. I told you guys I used to be 100 pounds overweight. And for years, I had excuses for my weight. I would talk about, oh, it's my thyroid. Yeah, it was. I do have thyroid problems, but that wasn't why I was overweight. Then I used to blame my metabolism. How did I have a metabolism at 25 years old? A metabolism problem. Really? Really? No. And I would always yo-yo diet. So meaning I would lose 20, gain 30. Lose 30, gain 50. And year after year after year, I was getting bigger. I could never just keep the weight off. I told y'all earlier, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I had to accept the fact I didn't know what the hell I was doing. If I truly knew how to lose weight, I would have lost it by now. Obviously, I need to change some things up. I need to get a half an inch out of my comfort zone, do something a little bit different this time. So I chose to hire a personal trainer. Changed my life. Changed my whole life. Not only did I lose 100 pounds, I have kept it off now for 4 years. My whole family is obese. All of my friends at the time were obese. I was surrounded by obese people. In order for me to not be obese, I needed to change my environment. I needed to change who I was around. My personal trainer was the first person in my adult life that I saw who prioritized his health and wellness. No matter how hectic his life got, he still made sure he cooks his meals at home. No matter how hectic his life got, he still makes sure he exercises for 30 minutes. And that rubbed off on me. I told you guys, I used to be full of excuses. I used to be the queen of procrastination. My motto was, why do today what I can put off till tomorrow? In other words, I'll just start later. And later never came. I used to live in fear too. I used to be scary as hell, okay? And notice the fears that we hold on to, these aren't even things that have happened. These are all worst case scenarios that we have made up in our head. Nothing that you're scary of has actually happened. This is just worst case scenarios. And why do we always jump to worst case? Worst case scenario. Why do we never go to best case? Best case scenario, you post your video, you feel good about yourself, then you post another, now you're consistent, now you're building your platforms, and now you're selling your products. Why can't we go there? We always just make up the worst case and run with it. And then we convince ourselves that's what's gonna happen. Fear. I used to be my biggest bully to myself. I know a lot of y'all can relate to that. The things I used to say to myself was absolutely disgusting. You know, I used to call myself stupid on a daily basis. Now let me ask you, how was I going to be a successful entrepreneur when I keep calling myself stupid? I wasn't. That had to change. Ladies, let me tell you this. Your internal world, what you have going on in this pretty head of yours, is always a reflection of your external. So, if you talk to yourself with disrespect, I know for a fact you have people in your real life who disrespect the hell out of you. Because that's how you treat yourself. If you have chaos going on in here, I know for a fact your life is chaotic as hell. I already know. I already know. If you call yourself names in here, I know for a fact you don't show up for yourself every day. You probably don't even show up for yourself once a week. Because you don't even believe that you're worthy of it. Your internal world is a reflection of your external. Stop talking to yourself like you don't have no sense. Start putting some respect on your name. If you wouldn't say those things to a child, you have no business saying them to you. The biggest distraction that I struggled with in my own journey was alcohol abuse. And I told you I started that toxic ass habit when I had the toxic ass job. And you would have thought that once I quit the job, then that problem would have just went away. No. It just got worse. Ladies, your problems don't just go away, okay? If you do not intentionally fix them, they just get worse. Am I lying? They get worse. See, at least when I was working, I couldn't be drunk for 8 hours because I had to work. Well, I quit my job during COVID, and everything was shut down. I had nothing but time to drink. See, I had quit my job on a whim. I had been there for 6 years. I was turning 30 in a few months. COVID was going on. And I was just fed up. You just get to the point where you're fed up. And I was like, you know what? F this job. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm not bringing this into my 30s. So I quit. Just quit. Put in my 2-week notice and I was out the door. Now, I believe God told me the time to quit was at that time. I really do. It just kept, I kept feeling it. Quit. So I just quit. I didn't have much money saved, okay? My plan was to live off of my stimulus for a few months while I make my business grow. And then once my business grows, it'll just take over from there. But just so you guys know, I don't have any children. So my stimulus was not that big. I only had about $2,000 to my name. And we all know that's not going to get you far, okay? So the math wasn't mathing from the jump, but I didn't care anymore. I just quit. So now I'm at home during COVID, everything is shut down. I'm trying to make it all make sense and grow my business. So I'm watching YouTube videos and TikTok coaches about content creation, digital products, monetizations, platforms, and algorithms. But it's not working. Nobody's watching my videos. Nobody's buying my stuff. See, I told you guys earlier, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Okay, and I had a lot of ego back then. Okay, back then, it was never Jasmine's fault. Okay, let's be clear. If you had an issue with Jasmine, that's because you have an issue with yourself. But I had no room for improvement because I was perfect as is. That was the mindset that I had back then. So in my mind, it's not my fault that nobody's watching my content. It's the algorithm. YouTube doesn't like me. It's not my fault that people aren't buying my products. It's the algorithm. Instagram doesn't like me. The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. I was convincing myself that I was doing everything that I could in my ability, when in fact I wasn't. I was not posting content consistently. I was not going live because I was always drunk. And I'm getting stressed and I'm getting pissed because I'm running out of money. I had already made a payment arrangement with my lights. My light bill was $700. And if I didn't pay the bill on that day, they were cutting them off. There were no more arrangements. I already missed one mortgage payment. And if I missed another, they were going to start trying to foreclose on a house I hadn't even been in yet for a whole year. I was stressed and I was pissed. And then I'm mad at God because I'm like, God, you told me to quit. You told me the time was now. I quit and I'm running out of money. I didn't want to admit to the fact that I was the reason why things weren't working out. I couldn't say that, not back then. I had too much ego for that. I couldn't admit to myself that I had a drinking problem. The embarrassment, the guilt, the shame. No. So I just continued to lie to myself some more. And I convinced myself that as long as I don't start drinking till after 11 a.m., I'm not an alcoholic, because in my mind, alcoholics, they start their day with alcohol. So as long as I wait till after 11, even though I drink all day, every day, as long as I don't start my day with alcohol, I don't have a problem. So there's nothing to talk about. What? The worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. But notice, eventually, you can't keep running from you. Eventually, you're going to hit a brick wall. Eventually, God is going to force you to listen. See, I believe God is within us. He's not outside of you. So I have God within me. You have God within you. But he's not outside of you. So those ideas that you get, telling you to try this, post this, that's God talking to you. That intuition, that gut feeling that you get, that's God talking to you. But notice how we try our best not to listen to God. We say we listen because it sounds good in conversation, right? But we actually try our best not to. We will actually distract ourselves to avoid listening because, let's be clear, deep down inside, you know what you should be doing. You know what you should be doing. But you will distract yourself to avoid doing it. Oh, no, that's not true. Okay, well, then let me ask you, if that's not true, how many ideas did God give you last year that you need to try? You need to try. If that's not true, okay, let me ask you, how many times did you go against your gut feeling just to find out later you were right the whole time? Exactly. We never want to listen. But eventually, he's going to make you listen. And I'll never forget, I was sitting on my bed crying. I'm like, they're about to take my house. I don't have the money. I don't know what I'm going to do. God said, Jazz, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have been begging me for a business for years. Which is true, I had been. He said, the opportunity is literally right in front of you. And you're wasting it. So, are we going to fix it? Or are we going to change? I decided to fix it. I decided to change. I decided to stop drinking. Haven't had a drink in almost 5 years. I will never touch alcohol again. I am done. And since I decided to change, my whole life began to change. I started posting consistently. My platform started growing. I started making sales, all because I decided to change. For the first time in my life, I started to feel good about myself. And so I started saying nice things to myself, like, I'm smart, I can do this. Wow, you're really good at this, Jazz. That's how I'm talking to myself now, all because I decided to change. For the first time in my life, I started to have confidence, all because I decided to change. See, What I didn't realize back then, and what a lot of people don't realize, is this: in order to get something, you are going to have to give up something. In order to get something, you have to give something up. You can't have both. In order for me to get the business that I had been begging God to give me for years, I had to give up excuses. I had to give up procrastination. I had to give up fear. I had to give up distractions. I had to give up alcohol. But when I gave those things up, God opened the floodgates of heaven for me. He gave me everything I asked for and more, all because I decided to change. See, I had just asked God to help me make $60,000 a year to replace the job I had. But I even started negotiating that. I said, Lord, if you could just help me make $45K, I'll cut the cable off, I'll make it work. Just please help me get out of this job. Girl. God gave me 6 figures. I asked God for 1,000 Instagram followers because I didn't even know 10 people, let alone 5. So I'm like, if I can get 1,000 people to follow me, wow. God gave me 100,000 Instagram followers. I asked God for 5K YouTube subscribers. I'm like, 5,000's a lot. I'll take that. God gave me 30,000 YouTube subscribers. I asked God to give me a little bit of confidence so I could stop crying all the time and feeling sorry for myself. God gave me a lot of confidence. I keep all of the promises I make to myself. I can't even remember the last time I cried. All because I decided to change. See, the woman I was back then didn't align with this version, okay? I always wanted to be this version. This version of me shows up confidently. She puts herself first and doesn't feel guilty or bad about it. Who sticks to the promises she makes to herself. Everything I say I'm gonna do, I do it. I'm running my business and not caring what people think about me. I have boundaries and standards for my life, and I don't allow people to use me. I don't allow people into my life who disrespect me. But in order for me to become this version, I had to change who I was. Because who I was didn't align. This version was always within. I was always capable, but it was buried under the fear, the limiting beliefs, the excuses, the procrastination. And until I changed who I was not going to become this. In short, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe change is hard. Okay, maybe you're right. But the life that you're living is hard. See, a lot of times we delay our own blessings. Because let's be clear, we've already told God 10 million times what we want. He heard us and he heard us again. He heard you. And he is ready to bless the hell out you. But the problem is, he gives us free will. So in other words, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. He's not going to stop you. So if you want to waste 5 more years not listening, not being obedient, he'll let you. If you want to waste 10 years, he'll let you. He'll let you do whatever you want to do. But he will not bless you He will not open those floodgates of heaven for you until you change, until you listen, until you become obedient. Some people never get their blessings because they refuse to change. But when you change, he gives you everything. Everything. And yeah, maybe change is hard. Okay. But again, the life that you're currently living is hard. Going to a job that drains your spirit every single day is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Crying every day because you're so unhappy with the way things are going right now is hard. I've been there. I've done that. I know. Knowing deep down in your soul that there's something better for you, and you can feel it, you know it, but not living it, that is hard. That's hard. I've done both hards, and I will always choose this one because at least this hard comes with peace. You can't even put a price tag on that. This hard comes with purpose. This hard comes with freedom. This hard comes with happiness. This hard comes with confidence. This hard comes with the income that you need to live the life that you want. I keep telling you time and time again, anything that you want to do, you can do. If you even thought the thought, that's because you can. Those ideas that you get are coming from God, and He is telling you to try it. He would never plant seeds in an environment that cannot harvest them. If you were truly incapable, it wouldn't have even crossed your mind. But it did, because you can. But in order to actually get it done, you are going to have to let go of fear. You are going to have to take a half an inch out of your comfort zone and do something a little bit different. Because if you don't, you will continue to allow fear to steal your dream life from you. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is draining you. That comfort zone that you refuse to leave is depressing you. We have become so comfortable with being unhappy. We have become so comfortable with being insecure. We have become so comfortable with being miserable. The results that you want, the life that you want, is not in that comfort zone. Those daily habits and those routines that you refuse to let go of is the exact reason why you're not getting to where you want to be. And until you change you, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You have got to change. For those of you guys who want to change, I want to help you. But I can only help people who want it. I can't help people who don't. If you are 1000% happy with your life and the direction that it's going in, then fine. Respectfully, just keep doing what you're doing. If you like it, I love it. If it's not broke, then don't fix it. But if you're not 1000% happy with the way things are going and you want to change it, then I want to help you. Inside of Glow Up Academy, I'm going to teach you how to start and run your online business. Anything and everything that you want to do is in there. Maybe you don't really want to sell an ebook. I know that's what we went over this morning, but maybe your vision is an e-course or a private community. Fine, I'll teach you. I've made hundreds of thousands off of private communities alone. It's in there. Maybe you want to monetize your platform. So you want to get paid for views. How I do, how my students do on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Fine, I'll teach you. It's in there. All of my platforms are monetized. Maybe you want to sell on TikTok Live. Fine, I'll teach you. I sell, my students sell, thousands of other creators sell on TikTok Live. It's in there. But not only am I going to teach you how to start and run your online business, most importantly, I'm going to teach you how to build you. There are things that you are doing that is holding you back. Together, you and I are going to fix it. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your discipline. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your consistency together. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your accountability and your follow-through every single day. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to build your confidence together. Inside of Glow Up Academy, you and I are going to finally start making you a priority in your own life. Glow Up Academy is the space where not only do you build your online business, but we build you. So that not only do you start, you actually follow through. Before I let you join Glow Up Academy, a couple of things. First thing, I only want to help people who want it, not people who don't. Okay, I can't force change upon you. I can't make you want better for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes. So if you're one of those women who knows she's been getting in her own way, and deep down inside, you know I can help you, then move. Stop overthinking, stop second guessing, and just move, because you already know what you want to do. Because once that timer goes off in 10 minutes, I'm taking the link down and we're done, okay? I can't drag you. You have to want it. Also, I only allow 10 people to join Glow Up Academy at one time, because believe it or not everybody has the same journey. Some people have a product but no audience. Some people have an audience but no product. Some people have a million ideas, but we gotta lock in on one. Sometimes you guys are spreading yourself too thin because you're trying to build all 10 ideas that God gave you at one time. No. I told y'all earlier, money flows where energy goes. So you and I are going to pick your most one favorite idea, just one. And we're gonna grow that, okay? And then once that one is flourishing, then we'll reach back into the pile and pull up another one, all right? Some of you guys have no clue what kind of business you want to build, so we'll figure that out together. And some of you guys don't necessarily want to start a business right now. There are other things that you want to work on. Maybe you want to work on your confidence. You want to work on prioritizing yourself. Maybe you want to work on weight loss. No matter what it is, I can help you. I have just realized for myself that having more than 10 people join at one time overwhelms me, because I want to make sure I'm able to pour into you the way that you deserve, okay? So once 10 people join, I take the link down and you cannot join until I'm ready to accept more people. All right. Last thing, Glow Up Academy is lifetime access. So once you're inside, you are inside forever. You will always have access to all the information that I put in there every single week. You guys, things are constantly changing, okay? Platforms, all the things. You will also always have access to join our live coaching calls. We go live in there. You will also always have access to ask me any questions that you want, and I'm always checking in with you to make sure that you're doing what we've talked about, okay? I'm holding you accountable, all right? So because Glow Up Academy is lifetime access, it's $5.97, and it's worth every single penny, okay? Plenty of women join at $5.97 every single day. However, because you sat here You took your notes and you asked questions. And most importantly, you promised me you were going to execute. I'm going to take the price down. And the price will stay down for 10 minutes. But once that timer goes off, I am taking the price back up to $5.97, okay? You can use Afterpay or Klarna to break the payment up and still get in while it's 50% off, okay? But once we finish, the price goes back up, all right? Okay. I'm gonna show TikTok how to join first. YouTube, y'all's instructions are a little bit different, so just hang tight for 2 seconds. Oh, real quick, before I even do that, once you guys are inside of Glow Up Academy, let me pull it up for you guys so you guys can see. Once you guys are inside of Glow Up Academy, there's an inbox icon here. As soon as I get off of this live, so in 10 minutes, I'm going to be hopping inside and speaking to you. I want to know what you're struggling with. What have you tried? What works? What doesn't work? I want to know everything about you. What are your ideas? Okay, because you and I are going to create a plan specifically for you, okay? But I can't do that if I don't know what you're struggling with. So please, please, please make sure you respond to my message. Even if you can't respond right now, maybe you're at work or you have things to do, before you go to bed tonight, I need you to promise me that you're gonna respond so that we can start executing. Too much time has gone by. Too much of our precious, valuable time has been wasted. We are executing. All right, so I need you to make sure you respond. I'm also always checking in with you to make sure that you're doing the things that we've talked about, okay? So this is why I need you to respond, because if things aren't working, then we're just gonna adjust until we figure out what works best for you and your responsibilities, okay? So make sure you respond to my message. All right, TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in, you are going to leave the live, click on my profile picture up at the top twice and come to my profile, then click where it says stand.store, okay? Here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. YouTube, in order for you guys to lock in, your instructions are a little bit different. You're gonna leave the live and come to my channel, and then click where it says stand.store right here in the bio. And then here we are. Become the woman who actually follows through. And as you guys see, it has been marked down. So it went from $5.97 to $2.49. Scroll down, feel free to read my reviews, I don't mind. Enter your name and quadruple check your email address. You guys, this is critical. The email address that you put in is where it's going, okay? So please make sure you quadruple check that. Sometimes the autocorrect gets you or you misspell Gmail, all right? Once you have done that, you can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up. Then you're gonna click on this blue button right here that says Start My Glow Up. Within 30 seconds, tops, you should be receiving that very first email from Stan. The second email is gonna say Jasmine Spencer, that is me, and that's gonna give you full access inside of Glow Up Academy. Before you leave off of my live, I need you to let me know that you see everything and that you are fully inside, because if there was a technical issue, we'll fix it right here, okay? Okay. Now, let me go ahead and set the timer. Okay, timer has been set. I see Ashley joined. Ashley, I'm about to send you that second email now. You guys do not leave my live until you confirm to me that you received everything, that you are fully inside, okay? Ashley, can you check your emails for me, please? I just sent you that. I'm not sure what live she's on. And Brandy, check your email for me. Ashley and Brandy. Ashley and Brandy. You guys, please don't leave the live until you confirm that you have everything. Ashley and Brandy, I'm waiting on y'all too. We have a few more minutes left. Let's do some affirmations while we wait. Things won't get better until you think better. Okay, perfect. Things won't get better until you think better. Let me check. Okay. Ashley, yes, you're inside. Perfect. So we have 6 more minutes left. Once I get off of this live, I'm going to hop in and start speaking with you. So just kind of hang tight for a few more minutes, okay? Things won't get better until you think better. This is why I keep telling you, you have things going on in your pretty head that is holding you back. It's been holding you back for a very, very, very long time. I know some of y'all don't want to believe that. Some of y'all don't want to believe that. Some of y'all believe that It's not you. Maybe it wasn't meant for you. No. It's the fact that you don't follow through with the plan. It's the fact that you keep putting other people before you. It's the fact that you would rather be scrolling on social media than working on your business. Yeah, that's what it is. Got to start making yourself a priority in your own life. Got to start showing up for yourself. You got to start going off of the plan and not the mood. Because if you do not, you will keep getting the results that you've been getting, which are evidently the results that you don't even want. Okay? Gotta lock in. Gotta lock in. I am deserving of joy, success, and love. Okay. I am deserving of joy, success, and love. And if you don't believe that, that's the problem. We gotta build your confidence up. We've got to build your confidence up. Don't forget, your confidence is who you think you are. And if you don't think highly of yourself, well, then you're not going to show up. These are the reasons why I keep telling you we have to make sure we keep the promises that we make to ourselves. We have to make sure we're showing up. We have to make sure we're squeezing in 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day. Every day I tell y'all to get off these apps. The fact that you let yourself believe that you don't have time, but you have time to scroll, that lets me know exactly what kind of headspace you're in. Because that doesn't even make sense. Get off of the apps and do the things that you said you were going to do. And watch how amazing you start to feel. YouTube, you guys have to leave the live and come to my channel and click where it says stand.store. And then here we are, become the woman who actually follows through. And it is marked down to 2:49 for the next 4 minutes. Scroll down. Feel free to read my reviews. I don't mind. Enter your name, quadruple check your email address, and you can use Afterpay or Klarna to break that payment up, and then click Start My Glow Up, okay? TikTok, in order for you guys to lock in. Click on my profile picture up at the top twice. Come to my profile. Oh, also, y'all are on my main account, the one that says turn your phone into an ATM. So my profile does not look like this, but the links are still the same, okay? Click where it says stand.store. And then here we are, same thing. Become the woman who actually follows through, okay? So you guys have a few more minutes left. Still waiting on Brandy. Brandy, you guys, please do not leave my lives until you've confirmed that you received everything, okay? Because I don't know if there was a spelling mistake, because I don't know what your email is supposed to be, all right? So please don't do that. I want to know you are where you are supposed to be so I can send you the message. Okay. All right, we got a few more minutes left. My struggles don't define me. Good morning. My struggles don't define me. Amen to that. You don't even realize how resilient you are, how strong you are, how capable you are. And I don't even have to convince you of that, because you've proven that to be true in your own life. Nobody's life is smooth sailing. And you overcame tough times. But then you doubt your ability to record a 30-second TikTok video and upload it. But then you downplay your ability to grow 3 platforms. You doubt your ability to sell your products. Make it make sense? It doesn't make sense. It makes no sense. Which is why I keep stressing the importance of building our confidence. This is why. Because your lack of confidence, your lack of self-belief is what's holding you back. Okay? Gotta stop that. Unacceptable. For those of you guys who are on the fence, before we close out, I just want to let you guys know, as soon as I end this live, my voice does begin to fade. And then you slip right back into the routines that you're used to. Okay? There's a reason why you chose to stay here, because you could have been anywhere online, but you chose this space. Because deep down inside, you know that I can help you. The results that you want do not come from watching, they come from doing. So whether you believe I'm the right coach for you or not, you are still going to have to close these apps and actually execute the things that somebody told you to do. Because scrolling and watching does not get you the results that you want. If it did, you wouldn't be here. You would be running your business and living your life. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this morning. Make sure y'all follow me so you do not lose me. They do steal my videos and make fake accounts, and they're going to turn around and message you, okay? So do not get hoodwinked, finessed, or bamboozled. For those of you guys who joined Glow Up Academy, I'm hopping inside now. You'll get a message from me in the next 5 minutes. For those of you guys who didn't, keep doing what you've been doing, and I'm glad that you're getting the results that you've always wanted. Thank y'all so much. Have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. Bye, YouTube.